All right, what is going on, Laker fans? Appreciate you guys tuning in. Laker Stock Daily on this Monday morning. Busy week, Laker fan. Very busy week. 4 games for the Los Angeles Lakers. All of them are going to be out on the road. They got a 6-game homestand on the road, so they got a lot of work to do. Got a couple topics that I want to hit on today. Number one, I want to hit on just the pressure. I feel like the Lakers are still putting pressure on the rest of the NBA, the rest of the Western Conference right now. So that's obviously a very, very important element for the Lakers to still potentially move up. We'll see what happens. They got a little bit of cushion now between 9 and 10 since Golden State's dropped a couple, but the pressure on some of the other teams in front of them. And then the other thing I want to talk about, and this is how we'll start off the show, Spencer Dinwiddie. I want to give a quick shout out here to Spencer Dinwiddie. So Lakers had the Indiana Pacers yesterday before the game started. Actually, before pregame show started, the news had come out that D'Angelo Russell was dealing with a non-COVID illness. So D'Lo wasn't going to play. I already thought this was going to be a really tough matchup. The Pacers had just walked in a couple days earlier and had won a game on the road against the Golden State Warriors. So I just figured, I'm like, all right, this is going to be a challenge. Indiana trying to stay out of that play-in tournament in the Eastern Conference. So there's a lot of reasons why I thought the game was going to be competitive. Without D'Lo, I thought, hey, they could easily lose this game. So with that being said, Lakers won the game, but I thought Dinwiddie had such a big part to do with it. So Dinwiddie ends up going 8 of 11 from the field. Gets 26 points and 5 rebounds for the Lakers. Got to the free throw line. You know, who would have thought? It was, by the way, the whole backcourt for the Lakers between Austin Reeves and Spencer Dinwiddie. They shot 21 free throws, just those two players. So that's impressive in itself. But Dinwiddie, 8 of 11, 26 points, had 5 assists, not 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And it's got to be for himself. I mean, that's the best game he's had as a Laker. I thought the game the Lakers had against the Philadelphia 76ers on Friday where he hit 3 threes, it's like, hey, okay, maybe Dinwiddie, maybe we're going to get something out of Dinwiddie. I remember Michael and I were talking about in the pregame show that without D'Lo, that Dinwiddie was the smart selection. That was the person that the Lakers should have there, and just kind of have him come in and fill up the starting lineup. And then whatever happens from there happens, but Dinwiddie was excellent. Spencer Dinwiddie was a player that I think when we all thought this, right? The moment the Lakers got in the buyout market and signed Spencer Dinwiddie, there was a lot of Laker fans that was like, damn, that's a good signing. What the heck just happened here? We didn't know. Okay, so they didn't make a trade. They didn't go out and if you wanted D'Angelo Russell to stay, you got your wish. If you wanted him to leave, okay, well, he was playing so well leading up to the trade deadline. I could see the justification for keeping him. But what they needed was a backup point guard. I remember asking that question. It was actually right after the trade deadline. Rob Pelinka addressing the media. One of my questions to him was, what's the priority? What kind of player do you want to get in the buyout market? So our number one priority is a backup point guard. If we can't get a backup point guard, best player available. And that's what the Lakers did. They obviously got Spencer Dinwiddie, so they got their backup point guard. So we're not going to be too dramatic about it, but I thought what Dinwiddie did yesterday was key to the game. If you want to win games on a consistent basis, obviously the Lakers are going to have to play better defense, but they pull out the win against the Indiana Pacers. Okay, so there's my Dinwiddie piece right there. The other piece that I want to spend a little time on is just the pressure that I'm talking about. The Lakers ultimately are going to have to just keep winning games. It's the only shot that they have of getting out of that, that 9-10 hole that they're in right now. Problem is there's other teams out there in the Western Conference that are also keeping pace. Lakers have won 3 in a row since they lost that game to Golden State when Anthony Davis left after the first quarter. He got his eye poked, and then that was it for Anthony Davis. But since then, I think they've recovered well. Blew out Atlanta. Played around a little bit with their food against Philly. And then I thought yesterday gave up a lot of points, but they got the W. So I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. You got 3 teams in front of you that you could still potentially catch. It's going to take a lot for it to happen. One of those teams are the Dallas Mavericks, who's got a 3-game lead on you in the loss column plus the tiebreaker. The other team is the Sacramento Kings, who's got a 3-game lead on you plus the tiebreaker. And the other team that right now is sitting in 6th is the Phoenix Suns, who's got a 3-game lead on you. You have the tiebreaker, as in the Los Angeles Lakers. And if you just go spend a quick second looking at how tough Phoenix Suns' schedule is the rest of the way, it's the toughest schedule remaining in the NBA. So that should say it all right there. Really, really interesting to see if Phoenix can stumble or lose a couple of games and just give the Lakers a little bit of glimmer of hope what the Lakers can do. But here's the counter to that. The Lakers are about to go on a 6-game road trip. They're 12-20 so far on the road this year. 2 of their first 3 games on the road is Milwaukee and Indiana, so those are going to be really tough. And even games like Memphis that they have coming up this week, it's the second of a back-to-back. Later in the trip, their final one is at D.C. They're taking on the Wizards. That's a second of a back-to-back. John Ireland yesterday was talking about they're probably not even going to get in until 4 a.m. on that day. So they're going to have some challenges on this road trip. I think if you go 4-2, you're still keeping a lot of pressure on those teams in front of you. 3-3 or anything worse than that, then you could pretty much say, all right, they're going to be at least a 9 seed, or at best a 9 seed, and we'll see how things, obviously shake out from there. Okay, Lake fans, I got Lakers talk later tonight. Hopefully you guys can tune in. We will be live streaming it as well. And then don't forget, Travis and I are doing our show starting at 10 a.m. Full day today. Everybody's out. Everybody's doing their thing. Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap. And then, like I mentioned, Lakers talk after that. So thank you for tuning in. Lakers, a little bit of momentum here. See what they could do in this next week here. This next 4 games could determine a lot. By the time 1 week from today could determine a lot. So let's see what happens. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys have a good rest of your morning. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Lake fans.